Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? Dean Jode, head of Whisky Creations, back for another Whisky Wednesday, of course. And, well, you can see I'm in slightly different, a different location today. Always like to chop and change the locations, never keep it boring. For you at home, of course, you know, showing you what we are up to at Murray McDavid and where we work from. I can't say that I've been working here on Findhorn Beach all day, unfortunately. I've been over at Dallas Dew House, which is about 10 minutes back in towards Forest from where I am today. I am actually broadcasting, and some of you at home may have actually been to the spot that I'm standing at this evening, and you would have potentially joined us for the Spirit Speyside Festival here at our beach huts on the beachfront at Findhorn Bay, which is just around the corner. Findhorn Bay, we're overlooking the Murray Firth, Inverness, a good few miles that way, and you know, we've got the likes of Bucky down to my left. You know, you've got the likes of Inchgower Distillery just down that way, and further on Macduff. But what an evening. I thought I would come back down this way tonight. Some of you who are members of our Murray McDavid Whisky Club on Facebook, you would have had a little sneak peek into into my little ventures last night. On another beautiful evening, I was actually down here until about 10 o'clock. The sun was still, you know, pretty much as is, just dipping over the clouds, allowing me to take some beautiful pictures of our brand new batch of UK single cask exclusives, which there are 3 coming to you lucky folks next week. And I actually am privy to a little bit of one of them in my Glencairn this evening. So, ladies and gents, folks at home streaming along, pour yourself a dram for Whisky Wednesday, or if you're feeling in especially summery evening, pour yourself a why not try a cocktail? Always good to sip a cocktail on a nice summer's evening, out in the sun in your garden, or on a beachfront. Beautiful. So yes, I have one of our soon-to-be released UK single cask exclusives, and for this dram, well, actually, I've been sworn to a little bit of secrecy until they launch next Tuesday. Retailing from many spirit specialists in the UK. So if you have a favourite local retailer, pop in there, ask the folks behind the counter, psst, have you got any of that Murray McDavid single cask exclusives coming on Tuesday? And you could be first in line to pick up one of these 3 or all 3 of these amazing drams. But I can't say too much. All I'm going to reveal on this sumptuously dark, rich dram is this has actually been finished in first fill Casks de Mercia Tawny Port casks. Casks de Mercia, of course, one of our cask partners that we work with for our artfully matured ranges of Scotch whisky. And yeah, interesting that I have this evening. It's actually, as I poured it into the glass on this summer sunny evening, and of course I slapped on the factor 50 for the little stop out tonight. Safety first and all that. But actually, when pouring this dram, one guy popped straight into my mind, because I am kind of contradicting myself on a point that me and Liv made last week. You know, we were very much advocates of sipping along to different dram styles for different seasonal occasions, which I will still stand by. I think I do do venture down into specific whiskey types for different seasonal occasions. But of course, Mr. Steve Laidlaw was very quick to point out, well, actually, you know what? I drink nice, densely rich, spicy sherry malts all year round. And good on you for that, for sure. So this being one of those really rich styles of, wood forward drams. Here's to you, Steve. It's certainly working for me on the beach tonight. Ladies and gents, it's not a UFO over my shoulder, if you're wondering at home. We've actually got some kite surfers on the waters this evening. And just as I was preparing down at the beach huts tonight, I actually whacked out the binoculars, and there was an osprey just searching for its dinner over the beach here. I'm going to give you just a quick tour because it's just too beautiful not to share what we're working with tonight. So these are the beach huts. This is the red one, and Murray McDavid, of course. We have the seagull beach hut, and the green one just over my shoulder there. And some of you may have already come down to visit us, to have picnic on this beautiful beach here at Findhorn during the Spirit of Speyside Festival, which of course we'll be doing next year for the festival, and hopefully some events through the summer. So if you want to come and hang out with the Murray McDavid team, keep an eye on our website and social media, and hopefully we can get you sipping along some fine drams in spectacular locations. But enough of my face. Just look at that. Just beautiful location here up in Findhorn. Made even more special by this sensational weather that we're having this week. And speaking of sensational weather, of course, I think I touched upon it a little last week. Whilst it's good for topping up the tan and spending a nice lazy afternoon on the beach, it does present us with some quite problematic conditions in terms of empty casks arriving to our warehouses, and we still have containers loads of Madeira casks coming in over the next week. They've been slightly delayed. Pedro Jimenez showed casks coming into Brackla, which, as I've said before, the Spirit is already in the warehouse, lined up, ready to be immediately filled into those, still fresh, wet casks with plenty of those influences to bestow onto those different spirit types for the future generations of Murray McDavid. Those spirits will probably most likely spend anywhere between 1.5 to 2.5 years resting in those first fill casks until we deem them ready for bottling for the likes of Cask Craft, and of course to create some of our future batches of UK single cask exclusives, along with Benchmark and Mission Gold, etc. The sun, the warmth, the heat, it's very unforgiving in terms of having casks sitting around, as they will dry out, and certainly wine casks can oxidize and spoil very quickly. So Kevin and the team at Brackla, they're ready to go. I think I used the analogy of a Formula One pit stop team last week. They're ready, they're pumped, they're primed. Best of luck to those guys. We have all fingers crossed that the operation goes nice and smoothly to get the best of those expensive, flavorful casks. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will give you a little snippet, a little insight into another of our UK single cask exclusives. And actually, some of you have already tasted this whiskey, and in fact, you helped me select this this wonderful Speyside single malt, and that single malt is I nearly dove straight into the detail there. Evening, hello. Plenty of dog walkers around looking for a dram this evening. You can't blame them. Beautiful. But without divulging into offering too many spoilers on the next UK exclusives, this one really is for Steve. Heavy, rich, first fill Oloroso sherry influence there. And remember, our UK single casks are selected and bottled at cask strength to really present the the real high octane expressions that we deem fitful for the art of maturation. You know, they really tick the boxes in terms of balancing distillery character, but offering big, powerful influence of cask there. So the Oloroso, definitely a classic. 14 years of age. This sherried single malt, bottled at a very, very healthy 57.1%, and just 262 bottles produced from that first fill Oloroso sherry hogshead. That's certainly one for the sherry bomb guys. So Sean, I hope you're watching. Michael Smith, Ardmore ? You know what? We have given Ardmore a bit of a rest on the UK single casks, as for those that have been following over the past year, you would have already seen two that we've selected for the UK single casks. The first one was a real, I love it, is a real Frankenstein of a whiskey, completely different to any style of Ardmore that you would have seen before. It was finished in a stout cask, and really wonderful influence with that kind of chocolatey mocha, slightly nutty note from that stout into that fresh kind of grassy peat, fresher style of peat from Ardmore. Really, really quirky. I loved it. Completely unusual, and it certainly got a lot of people talking, because it is, you know, I would definitely categorize it as a Marmite malt, but it's a perfect dram to take along to a whiskey tasting, because it just sparks so much conversation, and of course tastes delicious, which is always the number one factor that we're looking for. And the second Ardmore, I think that was an Oloroso sherry. Big sherry influence on that second Ardmore. Now that's not to say we won't be releasing another Ardmore this year, because I have just, along with the team today, completed on writing a set of labels for our autumn Murray McDavid release. So I can confirm, without giving too much detail, that we will be bottling a Ardmore later this year. And, well, it's enjoyed a red wine cask finish. That's all I'm saying. No more information on the Ardmore. Sorry, Michael, you're going to have to wait until the autumn. So enjoy your summer. Get some more drams in. Let me know what you think of the Ardmore Stout. And... yeah, maybe we can chat again in the autumn. Speaking of stout, one thing that I wanted to discuss this week, because as we have been sorting our stock of bottles of whiskey of various spirits that we have at Dallas Dew House, we have uncovered a really lovely parcel of this beauty. I'm not sure how well it can be viewed in the settings that I'm in this evening, but you can just about make out at the bottom there Spey Valley, and this is a collaborative project that some of you may be familiar with. Each year We collaborate with a different brewery around the UK, and we practice a cask swapping scheme. So once we've disgorged a whiskey from its cask, be it a refill cask or a first fill cask, which will now be a second fill cask, of course, that empty cask we will, or those casks, plural, I should say, we'll send to a brewery, which we have done with Spey Valley, based down in Keith. And, you know, we leave it up to their interpretation of, you know, how best can they work with these casks? You know, what kind of brews are they going to achieve by filling an empty peated cask, or it might be a second fill port cask, or you know, the beauty of working with Murray McDavid on these projects is, you know, we're a pretty much an endless resource for flavor opportunity from our casks that we disgorge, because we're working with so many spirits and so many cask influences. You know, we have a lot of brewers licking their lips, you know, looking at the empty cask possibilities, and the Spey Valley Stout ticks a lot of boxes. I mean, we're a high octane fruity imperial stout here. It's been matured in a refill sherry butt that has previously held North British grain, which actually they do a really great job, because they put it all on the back label. I'm sorry, my mistake, not North British on this occasion. Invergordon, it would have been the origins of this sherry butt, and they've held their stout in this sherry butt for 5 months, and once disgorged, we bring that stout cask. This would have gone to Brackler, and we've actually got our half and half blend maturing in the stout butt, which, if any of you have sampled or come across our half and half within our crafted blend series, you would have already seen a Spey Valley Stout release, which, if you've not tried it, it's a lot of fun, a lot of fresh creamy malt coming from there. But again, like the Ardmore, you know, you have that mocha nutty, slight kind of hazelnut chocolate element that comes through on that blend there. A lot of fun, unusual, and that's really what our crafted blend series is trying to represent. And cask collaborations, you know, it gives us that origin story. You know, as I've said probably to you many times before, is you know, as an independent bottler, as you know, as the head of whiskey of Murray McDavid, I'm always looking to try and celebrate the origins of the cask as much as we do the spirit, because of course we're drawing so much flavor more often than not from these casks that we are sourcing. So really important projects. We've got some whiskies that I'm hoping to release later this year, that we have collaborated with Wild Beer. We've also worked with the good folks down in my neck of the woods, down in Bristol, More Beer Brewing Company. Lovely styles of beer coming from there. So yeah, if you know of a good quality brewery who is up for a bit of experimentation, send some suggestions down in the Whisky Creations, the Murray McDavid Whisky Club on Facebook, and we'll certainly look into them. I'm certainly doing a little bit of exploring on the beer front at the moment as well, which is always fun. So what's been going on with Murray McDavid this week? As I say, we've been writing labels today, completing on the labels for the autumn release. I've already revealed that we've got that lovely red wine finished Ardmore. A real dark horse is again in the benchmark. Absolutely love this dram. Can't wait for this to be released. It's the 14-year-old Glenlossie, which actually it surprises me. Glenlossie is one of those sometimes overlooked single malts, which it's producing just north of 1 million litres a year, which sounds a hell of a lot. It is, a lot of liquid, but when you compare to the likes of, I just wrote a label for Dalmunnock today, which they're producing just north of 10 million litres a year. So Glenlossie, not a huge amount of that spirit around. And since Murray McDavid has been under the ACO umbrella, we haven't actually bottled any before. The Murray McDavid team over on the Bruichladdich era, they bottled, I think, 4 or 5. So it's one of the single malts that we haven't explored to its entirety. But the again, the release that's coming in September, October time, is it's been finished in a Sauterne wine cask. Beautiful integration. You get lots of that kind of honeysuckle butteriness that runs through the spirit. Really looking forward to that. And again, I mentioned Dalmunnock. I'm giving all the secrets away. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop there on that. I will give you a little nugget of Mission Gold. Of course, we have to mention the illustrious Mission Gold. Really looking forward to a continuation of a whiskey that we have bottled back in 2019. It's a single grain whiskey from Loch Lomond, and we bottled it as a 22-year-old back then, and it spent its last 12 months or so finishing in a first fill Armagnac hogshead, which I recall that whiskey going down an absolute storm at the time, and really intrigued to see how people are going to react to this. Now older spirit, same vintage of spirit, distilled in 1996, but it's actually been spending its last 4 years in an Armagnac puncheon. So much larger cask than the hogshead, but we've got that 4 years as opposed to the 1. I love doing this with the Murray McDavid releases. I call them, continuation bottlings, same vintage of spirit, but actually showing how that spirit adapts to different cask types and different journeys of maturation, different lengths of maturation. Because, when you line these whiskies up, or if you're writing notes about them and, and archiving those notes, seeing and appreciating the different deliveries of flavor, the different progressions, that is the art of maturation, and that is that's the curiosity that we have, certainly within our Whisky Creations team, and I know a lot of you at home enjoy the ride as well. So that's the last nugget of information about the autumn release. I've definitely said too much, which I'm always guilty of every week. So I apologize to Liv, who's watching along in the background, probably pulling her hairs out. And sorry, Liv. Anyways, so moving on. The Spey Valley Stout, by the way, I'm going to try and work with the team to make some of that available for anybody who's interested in buying some bottles. Then again, drop us a little message on the Whiskey group. We'll probably make it available there first, and then open it up to general release on our website. There's only a few cases of it left, but it's a real cool, quirky bit of Murray McDavid history. Of course, we've got our little logo on there, which you could probably just about make out down there as well. So very cool, very, very nice little bit of Murray McDavid memorabilia, which tastes wonderful. Big, heavy, 12.3% of that. Beastie. So, last but not least, what are we up to in coming days? Well, Stoke-on-Trent. I hope you're ready. I'm packing my bags. I'm shining my shoes and ironing my shirts. Of course, I will be in Stoke on Saturday. This coming Saturday, the 24th, and I think it's a 12 till 5 session. There will be more information on that on our website, I'm sure. So yeah, if you're in Stoke, if you're local to Stoke, come down and join us. I'll have some of the prior UK exclusives still. The Caerlila in Tokai, which would be perfect on the beach here tonight. Get the barbecue out, overlooking the residing tide. It's really going out at the moment at quite a rate. Yeah, a nice dram of that juicy tropical. It's a lot of quince coming through in that. I saw a lot of notes coming from people, smoky bacon that comes through on that Tokai finished Caerlila as well. Of course, we'll have our lovely Liquid, the 9-year-olds, which has been finished in a combination of casks, Port, Madeira, and Oloroso. Nice, rich, cask-forward style of dram. That the kind of fresh, light fruits of the Liquid still comes through, but yeah, there's a lot of rich cask coming through on that as well. And of course, I'll have an array of the Caskcraft range as well, the latest Caskcraft range. So it's a lovely varied table, which I'm looking forward to share. Getting back to Stoke for I've not been for a couple of years, so it's going to be nice to see familiar faces and share some of our latest creations. Next week, what have we got next week? The Madeira cask coming in, and I'll be actually selecting future batches of UK single cask exclusives. So if I would invite you to join the Murray McDavid Whiskey Club on Facebook if you haven't already, and leave a little comment on there. What would you like to see within our next batches of UK single casks? I was going to say sensible suggestions. It's always nice to have sensible suggestions, but it's always entertaining to see the not so sensible suggestions. So, you know, if you're going to be asking for a Springbank from the 60s, that will provide us with a few chuckles. We can all have wish lists for sure. Why not? But if you've got any particular cask types that you're interested in, or any thriving distilleries, then let us know. And I'm always interested to hear about people's curiosities. So yeah, get in touch with the group. Let us know what you're looking for in terms of cask types and etc. And we'll type you back on the group, and we'll take it from there. So, ladies and gents, I'm going to invite you to pass on any questions that you may have that have accrued over the past week. Oh, I forgot to mention some new arrivals that we had at Colburn this week. Very, very special parcel of stock. And if you're a member of the group, you may have already seen me posting a picture of one of these casks. And I think I said in the post, I've been working with Murray McDavid for nearly 9 years now, and I've seen thousands of casks come and go, many different spirit types, but this was the first time that I've been given the opportunity with the team to decide upon the future of some very special spirit from Ardbeg Distillery. Whew, crikey. Me and our managing director, Edwards, we sampled one of those casks last Friday. The bonus boat isn't in front of the camera this week. Well, Steve, watch this space. Watch this space. Liv will be back. Liv will be back for sure. I've just got too much to say this week, unfortunately. Rabbiting on as usual. But those, yeah, the Ardbegs. 3 sherry butts, tasting wonderful. Now, with a spirit like that, you never know. You know, I mean, I'm not a betting man, but I wouldn't be surprised if that is the last of the Ardbeg that we see for quite some time. So it always makes that thought process of further cask maturation, further development of the spirit. It always makes those decisions a little bit trickier and a little bit more considered, because I know that there's going to be a lot of demand for that spirit from our various distributors, and the spirit is not as freely available as the likes of, you know, Caerlila, for instance, which, you know, we have the luxury of you know, having great access to that Islay malt. So, you know, we are currently developing it in many different directions. But when you only have 3 sherry butts of a, you know, incredibly rare spirit, you can't be as freely creative or experimental as you would desire to be. So watch this space again. We will, over the next couple of weeks, we'll be deciding where that spirit is destined, what cask types it's destined for. Again, let me know your thoughts on that picture on the posts on the group. Yeah, just comment away on any particular cask types. I'd love to know your thoughts. I think somebody did comment Pinot Noir, which interesting shout. I didn't actually try. Oh, Matthias, you're a man after my own heart. Tokai finish. Absolutely. I mean, the Caerlila in Tokai, I absolutely loved. But again, I know I'm aware that was a bit of a Marmite malt because it was so radically different from the general expectation of Caerlila. The notes of the distillery style were there, but the Tokai took it in a very, very different direction. And with a spirit like Ardbeg, I think we just need to be a little bit more measured. Let's just say I'll have a little bit more of, I'll have to do a little bit of homework to make my strong defenses, my strong points to the team to say, look, this is what we're going to do and this is why. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. The Pinot Noir suggestion, I'm aware Ardbeg did one a couple of years ago, which I haven't actually tried, but very interested to. So a little bit of research maybe needs to be done there. But yeah, Tokai, I mean, it's always going to be on my radar, but we shall see. We've got some interesting cask procurement developments that are in early discussions at the moment. Ben Chambers doing a stellar job of setting up some new business relationships there, which will hopefully expand our horizons on the different varieties of sherry casks that we are currently offering. But that's all I'm saying. Again, I will, when the time is right, well, maybe hopefully invite Ben on sometime to natter on about the relationships that we're building with some very, very esteemed sherry producers down in Spain. Very, very excited about the future of that. But Anyway, I'm aware of the time. I've gone over the 30 minutes. Again, Liv, if she's got any hair left to pull out, she's probably doing so back in Bowness. I'm just enjoying standing here. Olivia Patterson, hashtag bring back Liv. Yeah, I guess, yeah, you know, we'll have to return you by popular demand. It worked quite well last week, I thought. Let's discuss, Liv. Let's see what we can do next week. Maybe you can give us a cocktail tutorial, because I still really like that strawberry daiquiri video that you produced. Very cool, very cool. Okay, well, ladies and gents, thank you very much for joining. Steve, if you're watching, I'm enjoying this rather rich tawny port finished whiskey on a hot summer's evening. Proof that we don't boycott the big rich cask forward monsters on the warmer occasions. Certainly a chewy dram, that. Good lord, lots of strawberry licorice coming through on the finish there as well. Lovely, lovely dram, which will be released next Tuesday. So stay close to our social media. Be sure to visit your local retailer to get more information. I'm hoping that they're all going to be pretty sharp to release on Tuesday next week. And we'll probably do a bit of a tasting of the UK exclusives on the next Whisky Wednesday, and keep an eye out for online whiskey tastings on the group as well, because I think we've got some that we're lining up over the next couple of weeks. Liv may have already been in contact. Actually, I think she has. So for those of you who are joining us in a couple of weeks, I'll see you there. If you're missing out in early July, then there will be more opportunity July, August time as we release more exciting, delicious drams. So, ladies and gents, thank you very much for tuning in this evening. I would pretend that I was going to run and take a dip. Not going to be the case this evening. I forgot my towel. Nobody wants to anyway. So yes, ladies and gents, until next time, thank you very much for listening along, jamming along if that's the case. All the best. See you next week.